Hi guys, it's me, Teresa Perrin, and I want to discuss COSM with you, COSM, because I'm seeing a lot of rumors circulating on social media regarding the reverse stock split. And I want to clear it up, show you the NASDAQ listings, and give you the facts. So let's get started. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own DD. All right, guys, if you go to NASDAQ.com, in the top right-hand corner, there's a little search engine. You just type in the symbol of any stock you want to see. So if I type in COSM, this is what comes up. Right here on the left-hand side, if you look in the purple area, you'll see a number 2. And I apologize, but my pointer is not working, and I've been meaning to update it, but haven't done it yet. The reason why there's 2 little marks here, number 1, it's because it's out of compliance. And I'm going to show you in a minute what happens when you click on that to learn more. And number 2 is a high technical attribute. So this is actually very bullish. The second one, high technical attribute. COSM has a high technical attribute rating by NDW. Now, guys, usually when you see this, it means that the stock technically is looking like it's going to advance, okay? So it's very, very bullish in my opinion. When I have seen this in the past, stocks have moved to the upside. So again, there's no guarantees in life, but that is a good thing. Now, the out of compliance issue, if you click on it, this page pulls up that has all of the stocks that are currently out of compliance. If you click on the little left-hand side, there's like a little tab down. You'll see COSM pulls up and bid price, NCM, the date 7/26/2022. So it's out of compliance because it fell below the $1 minimum bid price, which is what everybody's talking about regarding a reverse stock split. And we're going to get into the facts of that in just a second. So I have to go back into the filings on the NASDAQ. Going back to this first page, if you look down on the left-hand side, it says SEC filings. If you click on SEC filings, a whole list of filings will come up. I took the liberty of screenshotting the ones that I want to talk about in this video. Now, the first one that I came across was actually fairly recent, and this is very important because this is originally why I did not want to trade COSM. And I believe about a month ago or 3 or 4 weeks ago when this first started becoming popular, I said I am not going to touch that stock. In fact, it may not have even been that long ago. It was back when it was at 6 or 8 cents, something ridiculous like that, right? And that's because I went on the NASDAQ and this is what I saw. And this is what made me say, don't want to touch it. However, I currently hold a position because I have reverted due to the dates of what I'm going to read to you and am now very bullish on it. Now, that doesn't mean that something bad can't happen because there's always that risk with any stock. However, let's talk about this and I'll explain why I switch suits. Okay, it says notice of delisting or failure to satisfy a continued listing rule or standard transfer of listing. On November 10th, 2022, Cosmos Holdings, the company, received a non-compliance letter from the NASDAQ stock market for its failure to maintain a minimum closing bid price of 10 cents per share for 10 consecutive business days. In accordance with the NASDAQ listing rules, 5810C, whatever. Pursuant to a prior non-compliance letter from NASDAQ dated July 26th, 2022, which we're going to look at in a minute, guys, the company had until January 23rd, 2023 to regain compliance by the closing bid price of the company's common stock, being at least $1 per share for 10 consecutive trading days. Again, guys, from that first letter, they had until January 23rd. It says the staff has determined to suspend trading of the company's securities on November 21st, 2022. Well, guys, guess what? It's now November 30th, 2022. And is the security suspended? No, or you wouldn't still be trading it. Hence, why I am no longer fearful of this. However, I realize it's a possibility. and to delist the company's securities. However, the company has requested an appeal of the delisting determination by requesting a hearing to stay the automatic suspension of the company's securities on November 21st, 2022, and the filing of Form 25-NSE with the SEC to remove the company's securities from listing and registration on the NASDAQ stock market. Although there is no assurance, we expect that the shareholder proposal at our scheduled December 2nd, 2022 annual stockholder meeting, for which we have obtained a quorum, to provide the board of directors with the direction to effect a reverse stock split, will enable us to regain compliance with NASDAQ's minimum bid price requirement for continued listing on the NASDAQ capital market. All right, guys. So my understanding of this, and if anybody feels that it's incorrect, please comment below, because I don't want to mislead anybody. My intention is to educate, not to confuse. Is initially they were obviously given a notice of delisting effective November 21st. However, they appealed this, and given the fact that we are still trading, I either believe that the appeal was granted, or they haven't gone to court and they extended it yet. Or I shouldn't say court, the appeals hearing, whatever. So currently we're still able to trade. Now keep that in mind, because this is what I'm fearful about with the other stock as well. That, both COSM and COMS have this similar situation going on. And a lot of other stocks, unfortunately, on the NASDAQ right now have it as well. Because this market has just been very, very vicious, especially to startup biotech companies and others. I mean, there's a lot of stocks trading in Pennyland that were not that way before. However, guys, that being said, I don't believe this is an imminent threat at the moment. I do believe that the NASDAQ is very well aware of the situation, and I do believe that if we are not able to obtain the $1 minimum bid price for 10 days prior to that date of January 23rd, that we will have to do a reverse stock split. However, there's something that confuses me, and we're going to look at the second list notification, which was actually the original notification, to determine why. But as of now, I am currently not fearful, but I have to know in the back of my mind that it's always a possibility that I could wake up and find out that they decided to take this to Pennyland. Okay. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, because I think that based on the dates of this, that an extension was given to them. And also based on the fact that when I went in there, I also saw that the CEO has purchased more shares. Okay. This is the S3 filing. I'm sorry, the Form 4 filing that shows the purchase. And he bought at 62 cents, 20,135,429. That's crazy. I'm sorry, that's the total amount he owns. He bought 801,261 shares. But look at how many shares he owns. Do you think that he wants this stock to get delisted? Do you think if he thought that was a threat, that he would have purchased more on this date? This is from November 28th, which you can see under number 3, the date, November 28th, 2022. Also down where it says the purchase date. The fact that he bought after the supposed delisting date this many number of shares tells me that I feel secure in investing in this at the moment. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've been in and out of this. I've been in it once after this date as well. A couple days ago or whatever, I told people when I got out and bought COSM instead, or COMS instead, but I also bought back my position today, because if you saw on Twitter, I tweeted out that I had exited and I would not be re-entering until it hit around 57 to 58 cents. Boom, it hit it. So guess what? I'm back in. And I do think that the stock is going to run. And I had said that when I exited before. I was just happy with my gains at that point. Because, guys, I'm going to play this because otherwise it's going to play me. Just like every other stock in this market. However, I think with Powell's speech today that things are going to improve for a little Santa Claus rally. So hopefully it's not another rug pull, but I feel confident. Anyways, let's look at this next filing. So, July 26th. I'm sorry, this is dated July 25th, which is odd because they got the notice July 26th unless they knew it was coming. But July 25th, it says. On July 26, 2022, I think that first page must be a typo because that wouldn't align. On July 26, 2022, Cosmos Holdings, Inc., the company, received a non-compliance letter from the NASDAQ for the failure to maintain a minimum bid price of $1 per share for 30 consecutive business days. In accordance with NASDAQ's listing rule, the company has 180 calendar days from July 26, 2022 to regain compliance by the closing bid price of the company's common stock, being at least $1 per share for 10 consecutive business days. Guys, it's very possible that even though we have to vote on December 2nd for the reverse split, which of course we want to happen for the company to stay tradable on the NASDAQ, it's very possible, given the current status and the movement it's been getting, that we reach this $1 minimum bid requirement for 10 days prior to July 26th, and we don't even have to do a reverse stock split. That would be the ultimate goal here, to regain compliance without this. Now, if they do not maintain the minimum stock price of $1 per share for 10 consecutive business days, as required, the company will effect a reverse stock split to regain compliance. However, the company has no present plans to effect an equity offering. An indicator will be displayed with quotation information related to the company's securities. All right, guys. So, I don't believe that the CEO wants to do a reverse stock split either. This is not something that, companies do lightly. And I went back and I looked at the history. And this company has already had one reverse stock split back on November 20th, 2017, they did a 1 for 10. So for every 10 shares that you held, you got one. I definitely don't think they want to add a second one under their belt. So hopefully they're able to maintain compliance. I haven't seen news in social media. Maybe other people are tweeting about it, but I should say I haven't seen it reported yet under any of the platforms that I trade on, which are several, that COSM has released information regarding the CEO's recent purchase. So guys, I expect that bullish news to come out, and I think the stock is going to rip to the upside again, which is why I bought back in my position today. At any rate, I really hope that you found this information helpful. I think that we're going to vote for a reverse stock split. Nothing is imminent at this point, and it certainly doesn't mean for the next month that you can't enjoy taking this out. And I'm going to say something to you, and a lot of people don't like this fact, but it's very true. A reverse stock split is not always a bad thing. I want you to go and look at ticker GOCO. If you follow me on Twitter, you should know this name well because I've been calling it out for a couple of months. Well, guys, it's a stock that unfortunately had a reverse stock split. And it has been ripping, absolutely ripping ever since. When I called it out, it was trading at, 30-something cents a share. I said I was buying it at 42 because that's the number it's had resistance at for many, many months that I've been watching the stock, waiting to buy, waiting to pounce on it, right? So finally it went above that. Whoa, lo and behold, guess what? It had a reverse split that I did not know about, but I should have expected. That happened. Okay, great. It actually went up that day. And then they tanked it back down to around that same price that I bought in at. Which would be equivalent of about $6 and something cents a share, right? I think 606 was my average that I saw. Anyways, guys, that stock is now trading at around $13. It was even up to $14 today. Every single day it's been going up ever since, okay? So don't let the word reverse stock split scare you, because sometimes it's actually beneficial. I know that a lot of times they try to tank it harder, especially in these heavily retail traded stocks, which this one is. But this one also has huge insider ownership as well. And short interest anywhere between, depending on what source you look at, 11% and 1,611%. Okay, so it has high short interest. Where it lies in the middle of that, I have no clue, but those are the two numbers that I'm seeing. The 11% comes from Fintel, that 1,611 apparently is going around Twitter, and I'm not quite sure where they're getting it from. But rumor is that it's from an S3 filing, but I didn't see that when I looked in here, so I'm confused. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this and have a great night. Please smash that like button for me, and please spread the word. I'd greatly appreciate it. Don't believe the FUD, guys. People just try to scare you. Have a good night.